Berlin-Neukölln.
Mein Lieblingsplatz in Neukölln befindet sich genau am Rad.
My favorite place in Neukölln is right here in front of City Hall because it's a really great place to sit. The main street is right here, and it's wonderful to watch everything that's going on. There's always something interesting happening here.
The borough of Neukölln is right in the center of the lively city of Berlin, a vibrant city within a city, complete with historic villages. This is the village of Rixdorf, where Neukölln began, just around the corner from busy Karl-Marx-Straße. In 1737, 8 Czech families settled near Richardplatz in what became known as the Bohemian Village. Nestled against the back courtyards of the present-day housing blocks is the Bohemian Cemetery. Neukölln has always welcomed newcomers from abroad. Back then, the new arrivals had been driven from their homes in Bohemia due to their Protestant beliefs. Nowadays, there's almost no Czech spoken here, but plenty of Turkish, Greek, Arabic, and Polish. On Mondays, the town crier declaims all the local news in several languages. The old smithy has long been the focal point of Richardplatz.
The Rixdorf Smithy is Berlin's oldest active blacksmith shop. We work here just as they did in 1624. We welcome visitors on weekends.
Rixdorf was first mentioned in 1360 as Richardsdorf. In the heart of the old village, the Schöne trucking firm is now in its 5th generation.
I feel comfortable in Neukölln because it's like a village in the big city, has a multicultural culture, and slowly people have become closer, less aggressive. Neighbors talk to each other.
Neukölln is exciting. It's always an adventure. What I always say is, whatever toughens you up, improves you. And Neukölln always was a tough neighborhood. It still is. And that's one of the things that helps you succeed in life. The mother works. The father is in a Russian prisoner of war camp. And Manfred's world is the early years of the post-war period. It was a poor and often dismal world, but full of excitement and adventure.
In this world just full of adventure, German actress Inge Meisel was born in 1910.
I'm remaining in Neukölln. It simply has a sense of community.
The colorful, lively feeling is impressive. Here you meet the most unusual people on the street.
I like Neukölln because it's developing in a wonderful way. There's always been lots of music in Rixdorf. Back in the old days, the dance halls, theaters, and bars were always hopping. That tradition lives on today at the Neukölln Opera or at the theater venue Heimathafen, for example.
Und jetzt! Oh. Gute Nacht, Kulturbuch seit 1826.
For me, the Heimathafen and the play we're doing is most certainly an example of real Berlin culture.
What reminds me of Italy and Neukölln is primarily the gestures of the people, the way they talk. When they speak loudly and use their hands, it looks aggressive, but it isn't really. I think those are things I know very well and remind me most of all from Italy. That Mediterranean flair can be felt at Neukölln's open-air markets, such as the one at the Maybachhofer. What attracts people is the smell of licorice, honey, and vegetables, along with the fashionable clothing at bargain prices. This is where you can especially experience Neukölln's unique qualities. This diversity helps make Neukölln a place where people are happy to help each other out. One of its greatest assets is it's a borough where people from 180 countries live peacefully together. It's a place where many languages are spoken.
In diesem Bezirk existieren.
The women with the red scarves are community workers called Stadtteilmütter. They're immigrants who visit families and advise the mothers about what's available in Neukölln and educational opportunities.
Young families receive support, and there are lots of playgrounds and plenty of educational prospects. Since the 1920s, educators such as Fritz Carson have focused on the social integration of school children.
Neukölln verändert sich zurzeit.
Neukölln is changing right now. I think it's for the positive. It's been noticed that a model project is taking place. Excellent work is being done here.
Exzellente Arbeit geleistet.
Even Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands has heard there's something happening in Neukölln. She became interested in Neukölln's cultural integration work and honored the district with a royal visit. At the Neukölln Mitmacht Circus, a project in which disadvantaged school children from various ethnic backgrounds get to put on a circus show, local youngsters showed off their acrobatics, animal acts, and dance skills for Queen Beatrix, Crown Prince Philip Alexander, and Princess Maxima. And it was an opportunity for the Neukölln kids to meet a real princess. They bid the royal visitors farewell after their performance. And in physical education and sports, the innovations of gymnastics pioneer Friedrich Jahn can still be seen in Neukölln today. The first sports grounds were opened in Neukölln's Hasenheide Park in 1811, and this facility is still in operation. Various sports are played on the field. Olympic swimming champion Britta Steffen came from Neukölln. Neukölln's public pool is an excellent place to swim. It was built by architect Reinhold Kiel in 1914 and ranks among Berlin's most beautiful pools. Kiel had a great influence on Neukölln's architectural heritage. His work ranged from the playful fairy tale fountain to the main post office, to the Neukölln Hospital in the neighborhood of Bukow. His work inspired a whole generation of architects, including Mies van der Rohe, Frank Hofmann, Max Kemper, and the brothers Max and Bruno Taut, all of whom built in Neukölln. The so-called Horseshoe residential area is regarded as an outstanding example of public housing construction. It was built between 1925 and 1933 and has been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Public housing is only one aspect of Neukölln's architectural heritage. Its parks are also noteworthy. It always feels like vacation time in the Körner Park, which is under historical protection as one of Germany's most beautiful landscaped gardens. The Orangerie, also built by Kiel, is now used as an art gallery. International contemporary art is shown here in exhibitions and festivals.
There are many positive things. 48 Hours of Neukölln is a festival that took place in no other part of Berlin. That shows that this museum offers a good program.
Young artists try out new ways of working together. Neukölln's public silk screening workshop is at the center of the borough's cultural and artistic industry for everyone who wants to release their creativity. Neukölln is actually the heart and soul of Berlin. This is where new things get started. Above all, Neukölln is always different than you might think.
Then there's a series of guests in the lighthouse. Writers, actors, or people now shaping history.
We're sitting here together with 10 people in Studio 70, creative people from various walks of life who just don't feel like sitting at home or in a cafe just because they're freelancers. Of course, it's good that people here are able to do things their own way. Movies have been made since 1926 in the Geierwerken studios. Those films range from The Third Man to Run Lola Run. The Marlboro Man towers over Neukölln's industrial area. Neukölln's Südring area on the outskirts of the city center is one of Berlin's most important industrial areas, with 500 companies employing 12,000 people. The businesses range from the branches of international companies to the city's biggest organic bakery. Businesses big and small shape the borough's economy. whether in the shopping districts with their numerous small specialized shops or the Mendler Dairy Farm in the leafy district of Rudo. People here work and shop in a colorful mixture unique to Neukölln. There's always cause for celebration in Neukölln, and there's an appropriate venue for every party, whether the Turkish wedding palace or the old mill in Britz. In the middle of an orchard on the edge of the Britz garden stands the 20-meter-high, 12-sided Dutch-style windmill. It's a place where you can forget the hectic life of the nearby city. The villages of Bukow, Rudo, and Britz, parts of Neukölln, feature green fields and rural atmosphere. That's something the residents of the huge Gropiusstadt housing development can appreciate. At its center is the Gropius Passage Shopping Center. With 180 shops, it's one of Germany's largest malls. Not far from the concrete high-rises are the old villages of Rudo, Bukow, and Britz, with their village churches. The Britzke family lived here in the 13th century. During the many years of turbulent history here, the Britz Castle was built. But it was just a simple country manor house until 1833, when industrialist Wilhelm Wrede turned it into a neo-Renaissance castle. You can enjoy 19th century atmosphere in its painstakingly reconstructed interior. Celebrations also take place on the streets of Neukölln with the Carnival of Cultures, and anyone who'd like to see top stars can take in a captivating show at the Estrell. It's a place where VIPs get together. In Neukölln, there are things to experience, to see, and to enjoy with all your senses, such as an open-air concert with fireworks.
Classic open air here.
Classic open air, here in Britz Garden. Neukölln, a vibrant city within a city.